Today we're going to talk about the final days, and there's something I want to share with you that could completely change how you think of things, what's going to happen in the final days, and what you can do right now to shift into something pretty profound. This is critical information, according to me, of course, that I want to share. I think you're going to really like it, so won't you join me? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through your fears and live an amazing life. I hope that you go to a landing page here and sign up for my Manifest Anything series, because we're going to really focus on this year more than anything on how to deal with the challenges out there, how to deal most of all with the feelings that are invoked by all of the challenges out there. And that comes from you. So everything up until this point that you've believed, you've watched, you've focused on is now coming to the surface, because when we get challenged, that's when we find out what we're truly made of. Again, you can sit on a mountaintop meditating and say that the world is perfect and you're enlightened. But if you're walking the streets of New York or London or any place on the planet, you're going to find a completely different challenge that puts it in your face that there are things as human beings we have to deal with. Are you truly enlightened? I'm going to talk to you about the final days on this planet. Are you ready for this? I hope to really open up your mind into something that could be life-changing. First of all, I want to say that everything that I share with you is according to my reality, my beliefs, and the information that I receive as what I call downloads. I don't channel, and I don't claim to have the answers. I don't also tell you that you need to do anything. I just simply want to open up the gateway to some possibilities, some probabilities, which according to science do exist. And whatever you choose becomes your reality. So, among the unlimited probabilities out there, I'm going to propose to you in this video that you choose one that could possibly break through all your fears and get you on track to live that amazing life. Yes, despite what's going on out there. You see, we usually allow that to control us. So we say life isn't good. Then the financial markets go up and your job pays more and your relationship may be going well. And you say, oh, life is good. According to what? The material world behaving a certain way for you? The final days, what I want to share with you is the final days is not something that happens on the planet. It happens to every individual. Why? Because our bodies, the dense roles that we chose to play here, you ready for this? We all have an expiration date. Every one of us has a final day, and no two are alike. The final days, everybody's worried about what's going to happen in the future of the planet. What you can focus on right now to shift everything that you've been, let's just say, what you've believed or what may be causing anxiety. If you focus on your final days, you will start to make more choices right now as to how they are and how you can change it, because my final days are not yours. Whatever happens on this planet as a collective is not something all of us will share, because none of us will live long enough to see the planet expire. And there are unlimited probabilities of that also. I'm not going to go into that space. But those probabilities are combined with your beliefs and your choices in your own reality too. This is why some people will experience the new earth of peace and see that there's transition going on out there that's really positive, and that change can be very uncomfortable, but it's not a negative thing, nor should we look at it that way if we choose to be a part of the positive change. Others will look at everything that's going on out there as horrible and terrible and the end of the world and all these other things, and they're participating in that through their focus. The end of the days is an individual experience only. Whatever you do contributes to the collective, but every single person is going to have a personal end of days. You could, through this, leave the planet and think that we were going down to you-know-what in a handbasket, hell in a handbasket, or you can look at your life right now as being a participant in one of the most amazing time periods on this planet, and that it is part of why you're here, to participate in that and to be the breakthrough of the fear, of the destruction, and the negative behavior, dense behavior that we have been conducting for centuries. So if you see yourself as the participant of positive change, then you can rejoice in what's going on out there, because everything that isn't working is dissolving. I have to have a little sip here. The final days are your personal choice. It is not the planet that we must focus on as the final days. It's what we're doing right now to create the final days for every single person. Now, hear me out on this. Final days means you have so many hours, minutes on this planet in the physical world. You get to choose what that ending looks like. And that should be 100% your focus. In other words, not just me, the ego, but my focus as the contributor of whatever happens after you leave. Because you will never have another chance in this role to participate in this most unbelievable time period ever again. It will be gone in space, in eternity, and there will be other chances and other opportunities. But this is critical. Your final days are about you. And everyone that I hear is off there about the end of the planet and all these other things and who's doing what. I realize that they're so focused on something that they're never going to experience in this role, that they're not realizing that their end days, those final days, are getting closer in every minute. Not to be morbid. Where you're going is going to be amazing. What you're experiencing now is your biggest challenge ever, because we are at a critical point on a planet that is allowing us to make a decision either way. Now, if you want to go into that new earth, you'll experience it. The new earth will occur and happen for you, whether you're in the body or you leave your body. So not to worry. You will get to experience that either way. But your final days here are going to, that all counts, that are going to determine where you go, what happens. And it's sort of the concept that we've been taught of heaven or hell, which doesn't exist, but we create that ourselves. So you can totally create a situation, both on earth and when you leave here, of a destructive place that exists, if you are choosing that. Now that means that if you desire to have the final days of your life, which, by the way, starts now, no matter what age you are. Age is irrelevant. Hopefully you'll be as old as me and older, right? So when you look at somebody who's old, that's you. You're not going to escape that. And when you get there, somebody's going to think you're old. We must realize that we are not these bodies, young or old, and every minute you're on here determines the end of your days, your final ending. Are you seeing the world right now as a positive foundation for amazing change? If you do, then you will start to take the action to be the change. If you are watching the stuff out there on all the platforms that are cray-cray, because there's going to be chaos with change. People will battle to stay in density. They believe that's their saving grace. They want things to stay the same. They don't like change, even if change means that we could live on a planet that is heaven on earth. They'll battle that because the ego believes it needs to have control in things. The material world, power, the ego needs to be right. And when you participate in it, Your final days here will be that pathway of destruction that everybody says, see, I told ya. And of course, you'll experience it. My final days here are that I am doing everything in my power to spread the word that everything that's happening here that is in a negative nature is completely created and under our control, always has been, and that is what we get to change. And if you don't participate in that, you will continue to go out in the abyss of negativity until you figure out that that's not what we are and that you're tired of playing that role. And that's all it is. It is not to be judged good nor bad because you agreed to participate in it. That means we must see it. We can observe it, but we are participating in it. We agreed to participate in the pain of the planet in order to make the change to get out of it. But if you get so embroiled in and engaged in the negativity that you forgot that that was your mission, you will now participate and go into that space of the old earth, and your final days here will be predicted as everybody that you've listened to happens. It's going to happen because that's a reality that exists. Others will see the positive change, will be creating new things, will see our psychic and quantum powers amplified because now we're focused on them, our higher self, where all answers lie, where I get my downloads from, where if everybody gets out of their own way, can get unbelievable opportunities, answers, creativity, a completely new life. Those will be your final days of a breakthrough into an amazing, awesome place where humans have gone before, but have not passed down. There were time periods when we went into that space. There were enlightened beings here. And now we have to go back into that space if you want your final days to be different than what you might be listening to out there. And I'm going to tell you something. I even heard, and I'm not going to say his name, I'm not here to diss anybody, but so I don't listen to the stuff, I don't watch the stuff, everybody has 101 opinions, and that's irrelevant to me. All I know is what I'm doing right now and how I can make a positive change. That's it. You're going to hear stuff anyways. You can't avoid it. But I did see somebody who I respect greatly, who's very scientific, who basically made some statements that I think are fear-based, that I think are very, let's just say, dense-based, and not tapping into what we really are. And when we go into fear, and you can call it whatever you want, when we go into fear, only communities can save us from the density that this planet has created for centuries. Only community can do that. Because you alone cannot save the world. You can contribute to it. And the more you focus on that, the more you will attract, you will resonate with others like yourself who will not desire to participate in the final days of destruction, but in the final days, the last days of the planet, in this role, in whatever role you're playing, to be amazing and to see the great awakening and the golden era that's happening right now, by the way. It's not a future event. It's happening now. But if you are not focused on that quantum possibility, that probability, that wave that you're looking at will turn into a particle either of joy and peace and positive change that is challenging. I'm not saying it's not going to. I told you, we had to buckle up. Or you will see the final days of destruction and you will help to contribute to that and create it. Does this make sense? This is science. What you focus on, you create. Right? Your thought changes water. Your feelings put out an electromagnetic field, and everybody feels it. There's no separation between you and I. This is the final days, and you get to choose them. How do you see it? How do you contribute to it? Clock's ticking on the linear time clock. There's no such thing, but the linear time clock on this planet has an expiration date. You get to choose your final days? Will you go out seeing the planet rise up and transform into something it was always meant to be, and to pull us out of density through your contribution in the most positive way? Will you see your neighbor as another role playing out density, not to be dissed or judged, but to show compassion and love? You don't have to like them, but can you focus on that which will be the positive change? This entire planet's probabilities rest on you, but the final days are yours alone to choose. Right? Somebody can lay in their deathbed and say, oh my gosh, this planet it's going down. It's going down. And another one will lay in bed and say, did my job. We're heading in the right direction. We're going into amazing space, because both probabilities exist. They're both real. There's no one end of days. You're getting to choose it. Does this make sense? Yeah. Bing! Some of you are going to get that aha moment, and others are going to say, what are you talking about? The planet's going to end. We're all here. No. It is a chosen probability. Your final days can change right now. And if you focus 100% on what that is, you will experience it. Again, don't discount the fact that we all chose to come here to change the frequency of the planet, one light being at a time. That was our chosen mission. Not going to get out of that till you leave here. I hope you got this. Come join me every month. Come on over to landriaonkka.com. I'm going to put that up here. You'll see it. That is, every few days you get videos from me, offers, invitations, free stuff. And then this one is my internet training. People are blowing past the fear, creating new things, getting skills online for new jobs, getting skills online to create new businesses, taking advantage of the things that are flourishing out there and participating in that in a positive way. All good. All good. Get that other stuff out of the little pea brain we have. Boy, I got some good stuff for you. If you watch my other videos, wow. We're going into that space, my friend. Please subscribe. Please share these. Post them anywhere you want, any platform you want. It does sort of cancel out the other rubbish. If one person finds my video and realizes the power they wield in a positive way, and they're not spending that time on the trash out there, right? And it's purposeful. Then I did my job, and so did you. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my perfect, beautiful, enlightened being. You ready to go there? It exists right now. Namaste.